Hello, hello. Welcome to our first Facebook Live video. This is Laura of Enerstructa, and I'm here at home, like many of you. And our home is in the background, so we don't actually have a full-on structure yet. We're camping out in an RV. But we're going to talk about doing, on Mondays, we're going to talk about our ICF, net zero energy off-grid house. So today I'm just going to go through a little bit about what the ICFs are and why we chose them, and some other little details. So I'll show you around the house, and we'll see how this goes. All right, so we have ICF stand for insulated concrete forms. So they have polystyrene foam on each side of concrete, and there are these forms. Let's see if we can show this in here. So there's foam here, and then on the other side, and there's these plastic webs in the middle that help support the outsides, and then also, let's stand it up. Okay, I think you can see that. Also, you put rebar in here, horizontal rebar through these fingers, and then you put in vertical rebar once you get your walls together. So they kind of go together like Lego blocks, but sort of. They got these little like fingers up here, and they stack together. So yeah, definitely a learning curve if it's not something you're normally used to building with, but really great option for doing foundation work, especially if you don't have any windows and door openings to cut out. I think is a great option for that, or even just like a first floor project. So I'm gonna take you inside now and talk about some of the other features that are installed. So part of the reason we chose to go with ICFs for our house, they cost more than traditional lumber framing, but they're a lot more efficient in the long term as far as cutting down heating and cooling needs. So we can install a smaller mechanical system to heat and cool the house, so that'll save us money. So we don't have to have a crazy big furnace, an air conditioning unit, and we might not have to, hopefully not have to run it as much as you would if your house is drafty and leaky. So these concrete walls are really airtight, and we're going to have a ventilation system to bring in fresh air. So there's no such thing as a house that's too tight. It's good to control where the air is moving through the house and in and out of the house. And so for us, we're going to have a dedicated intake and exhaust for fresh air, and we'll talk about that in a future video. But for now, show you, these are our windows openings. It's kind of hard to see. I'm going to try to go this way. So we framed these out. There's these, they're called thermal bucks. So they're also made out of styrofoam, and they're a couple inches thick, and they frame the whole opening so you don't have what's called thermal bridging. So wood conducts heat and cold a lot easier than insulation does. So for us, the styrofoam is our insulation, and this way we don't have any wood that's going to be going all the way from the outside of the house to the inside. So that'll help with our conduction through the walls. We're still going to have windows here, and we'll talk about that again in another video. So yeah, feel free to type in any comments. If you want to follow up with me in the future, that'd be great too. What else? So yeah, so the walls are the R value. There's a code R value in Oregon at 21 R21, and so these forms meet that. As code changes and increases, I'm guessing that they'll have to upgrade the performance of the blocks. to make sure that meets code. And actually, the first floor walls, we used 8-inch blocks for the whole thing, and the first floor walls have an 8-inch. So the 8-inch block, that means how much concrete is going in there. So we have 8 inches of concrete in between the foam on the first floor. So the whole width of the wall is 13 inches because there's 2.5 inches of foam on each side of the concrete. And then on our second floor and on the third floor, we have an extra thermal cert. So I'm gonna go upstairs. So there's another 2 inches of foam that we added in the walls up there. So our value is at 29. Because we only needed to have 6 inches of concrete up here. We wanted a little bit better performance in our walls, and R value means resistance to heat flow. So you want to have more of that in your walls and your attics. So let's see if I can show you. It's nice and sunny today. There's like the block, and this part right here is the insert. I don't know if you can see that or not, but so we have that concrete. You've got 6 inches of concrete. That's the main block, and then that's the insert. And then these are anchor bolts for attaching our sill plates. So a lot of times your sill plates are going to be way down at the bottom in the foundation. So we basically have all of our walls. We've got 24 feet above grade walls and 2 feet below grade. So we had 26 feet of ICFs. So it was a lot, a lot of foam and concrete. And, there's a lot of, a good amount of embodied energy in these materials up front in the manufacturing, but in the long term, they'll really help us reduce our energy in the greenhouse gas emissions. So there's always like a pro and con of a lot of the building materials that are out there right now. So, and it's the first time I've ever built with them, so I would do it again. There's definitely challenging going up this high because we had to rent out bracing twice. I think I would do it again, recommend it. There's different systems, manufacturers out there, so they're all kind of similar. We picked this one because we had a local distributor, and they came from Idaho manufacturing plant. But there's other ones out there, and we just did our research that this made the most sense for us. So I'm trying to think what else. I don't know. I think that's it. I don't know who's all watching. I see Billy's there. Hi, Billy. Yeah. So the next thing we're going to be working on is the roof. So where I just showed you where those anchor bolts are, that's where we're going to be putting our sill plates on, and then our rafters, we're just using 2x12 pieces of wood as our rafters, so we're not doing trusses. And we have a big ridge beam that's going to be going up. So we're going to be building our gable end walls first, and then we're going to get up the rafters. So it looks like we've got some good weather this week, so I'm excited for that, and just keep moving along. So stay tuned. I'm going to talk about on Wednesday, I'm going to talk about some cost-effective ways you can increase the efficiency and health of your home. So hopefully, and I'll do that at 1. I'm just going to be posting these at 1 unless I get feedback that another time is better for people. And then I'm going to hopefully be doing some DIY virtual in-person DIY on the weekend. So I'm still figuring out what that is going to look like. But thanks for joining in on my first video, and we'll see you later. Okay, bye. Oh, I can't.